Hey, what's up everyone? Today we have a Stihl BR800 that, yet again, it's not working. Seems to be a common problem with these machines. Anyway, owner says the throttle doesn't work. So I did what everyone should do, and I took apart the handle, and lo and behold, they're right. It doesn't work. It's nothing inside the handle, nothing to do with the trigger, which is usually the problem, so the trigger's fine. So I do believe he is right, and the cable is bad, or it could also be just the carb itself is super gummed up. Don't know. But just in case, I do have a cable here that I've had for quite some time, and figured we'll look at the carburetor first, and if it's not the carburetor, well, it's obviously the cable. So first things first, obviously I've taken the covers off because I wasn't going to film it, but you know what, this might be useful for someone. So the covers just consist of a couple screws that come off, the whole thing slides off, boom, done. Two on the bottom, two on the top. The top right here. Yeah, I think that's it. So 4 screws, not the end of the world. And then a cover for the air intake, boom, done. Having said that, we do have a couple more we're going to want to take off. We're going to want to take off this piece because we do want to gain access to this carb. It's a real pain to have to deal with that, but I mean, just look at that. And the cable is going to be 10 times easier to remove, if it is the cable, if we can get this whole plastic piece off and gain access to that carb. So I'm going to take out the screws in there. I think there's one, yeah, one right here, I think. I don't remember. Maybe not, but there's definitely one right there. So 3, potentially 4 screws. So I got a little bit more access, and when pushing down on the throttle, oh, here it goes even better. It's not stuck. It's the cable, and in fact you can see the cable coming out of the little holder on the carb. So the cable's busted. So the cable itself just attaches through the carb and gets wound up on this piece in the back, or has a guide, and then goes through the bottom, goes through this sheeting, and then goes through the handle. So I'm going to take it off the carb, and yeah. Now that's completely disconnected. There's a breather tube that you have to remove, and this whole thing flops out. But yeah, cable. So I'm going to get that removed, and then at that point it should be free from everything. I don't think there's anything else. But the hard part is we're going to have to take this whole thing off, which means we have to undo a lot of the wiring, which it's not fun, but yeah, have to do what you have to do. Well, hold on there. Over 90% of you, according to YouTube, are not currently subscribed. You're watching this video, but you're currently not subscribed. So I'm going to welcome you to subscribe at the end if this helped you out. I work on a lot of machines, so maybe the machine you're watching is going to be something you own, but who knows? Maybe you own a generator, a pressure washer, a big mower, a chainsaw, a variety of things. The only way to know if I'm going to fix it in the future is by subscribing, and maybe I get to the one that you own and can help you out then too. So I welcome you to subscribe, put a thumbs up if it does help you out. Back to your normal video. Before we go down the wiring rabbit hole, are you serious? They're different sizes. Leave it to the Stihl to have like 4 different sizes for the same thing. Okay. We're now using a T20. There we are. This should come off. Here we go. And try really hard not to disturb a lot of this stuff because it's a real pain to have to put back in. Originally I thought it was this black piece, or potentially even the whole trigger that was broken, but it's not. Where is this split? This should split somewhere. Oh, here we go. So I'm going to see if I can't just pull this cable through, or if I have to redo the whole thing. This is a cheaper option. You can buy the whole kit. It's just a whole lot more expensive. The cable's like $9 or $10, and the whole kit is upwards of 30 or 40, I believe. So I'm going to see if I can't just pull that through. Fishing it through is going to be a real joy, but let's see if that's even a possibility. So another reason why I don't like Stihl is they don't like to have any repairable parts. You can buy cables aftermarket, but for whatever reason they want you to buy this whole part, like I was saying. I however just bought some of this tubing, and I just cut off the old stuff, and I'm going to install the cable, install this around, and like every 5 or 6 inches just put like a nice little section of electrical tape on there to kind of blend in the colors, and then we'll have our new homemade cable that didn't cost us almost $20 to $30 more than if we bought the one from Stihl. Now personally, I like to start with the wiring. Anyone who's ever worked with this stuff will know it's truly aggravating. But once you get it started, it's usually not all that bad. Okay, so it's going to be me putting the wiring in first, and then like so. Then I'm going to do the cable, and then we'll come back. After dealing with everything, I finally got the cable installed in the handle. It goes exactly the same way that I took it out. As long as you don't disrupt the connections, you're fine. If you do, I'd highly suggest taking a picture of it. I have a backup machine right there. Same problem, by the way. And, well, same problem, just different cure. I was able to look at it because one of the little clips fell out. So anyway, it's a nightmare taking that apart. Once you do, just cancel the rest of your evening. Having said that, we have a line. It's taped up. Everything is good to go with the other cable, or this cable. Thing about the other one, it's down there somewhere. This little outer protective coating was cut and became rusty. And while the cable itself seems like it was still intact, it was starting to fray, and when it frays, it kind of gets stuck. So once it begins fraying, there's no saving it. If it's just dirty or even rusty, you potentially could save it. Rusty, you pretty much are borrowing time, but you could still potentially use it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back. I'm not going to show it, but I'll show where it goes. It's just the cable itself just goes in the carburetor, then gets shoved in this little track on the carb. You put everything back, and then you have to deal with the wiring. But I'm going to deal with that, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, so we're going to hook right here. That's going to be the other end of the throttle. And it moves. So we are good to go with there. So right here, it's a little holder. Make sure it shoves in there. Like I said, throttle cable routed through this black piece, and that just goes in the bottom. And this wiring just comes through here, up through all this little overly complicated labyrinth. Goes right here, gets screwed down, that goes to the kill, ground, and we should be pretty much done. I'm going to put the cover on, and we'll give it a pull just to make sure it returns to idle or revs up, and we should be done, hopefully. I have yet to even try to start this because, well, the throttle is broken, so we'll be in for a surprise if it doesn't start. Let's choke it, give it a couple primes. Let's move this out of the way. Let's go like half throttle. man, either that pull cord is like the world's smallest, or I don't know. Let's see. No, that's it. It's like 12 inches. I might work on that. But it runs. I think I'm going to spend a little time. I'm going to see if the reason why it's pretty high is it's a professional. They like to keep it high. I'm going to see if that's the reason. Well, you might as well watch. Maybe if I put my foot on it this time. Yeah, exactly the reason why it was cranked up super high. But other than that, so the cable I bought was, like I said, like $8 or $9. The original version of this probably would have been closer to, I think it was either 20 or 30 bucks. Sometimes you can't just find the lines. You have to buy the whole handle and the lines, and that is going to be expensive. I don't look up the price because I couldn't find one online. I called a local dealer. They are not known for being cheap, but upwards about $89 if they had it. If they don't, they also have to pay for shipping, which they fork over to you, thankfully. But other than that, we should be set. I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. If you like what you see, keep watching. Subscribe. If you like money-saving tips and tricks like this, I do them quite often. I will catch you on the next video. Have a good night.